How many of you love scrolling through long documents to find the information you need? How many of you like doing the same thing over and over again? How many of you actually remember the exact way that you have formatted headings before? How many of you purposefully avoid being nice to people with disabilities? I know, none of you. But that's not what you're demonstrating with your Word documents. So I thought I would share with you some tips that could be helpful heading styles. And I wanted to share with you some of the ways that you can use this in Word and then what are some of the advantages that it has. We have that styles panel in Word, and probably many people don't use it because the default headings that are there, maybe you don't like them, maybe you don't know what they're good for, maybe they don't visually appeal to you. But the truth of the matter is that by using heading styles, you're actually not only formatting your document, but you're also tagging your content. And by using the appropriate level of heading, for example, you are telling Word, this is not just text in bold and underline. This is actually a heading in my document. So how do we apply headings? The first thing you want to do is you want to modify the heading styles so that they fit your preferences. So we're going to right click on the heading style. We're going to click on modify, and then we're going to make the modifications that are necessary. For example, this can be good for setting up your APA style headings, and never again would you have to worry about what they look like and did you do the bold or the italics or whatever. In a document like this, I'm not going to worry about using APA heading styles because this is not a manuscript to be submitted for publication. So what I would like you to do is to go in and modify that heading to your liking. So you can change font size, font type, the color, you can change how much spacing for the paragraph lines. You can change whether it's left align, center align, or whatever. You can also go in and change any number of different features that do not appear on this initial dialog box. The key to continue to reuse the headings once you've set them up is to click on New Documents based on this template. This will ensure that your new headings appear with these styles that you have set in any other document that you work on. If you leave it at only in this document, the headings will only be saved here. The next time you open Word, they're going to go back to the defaults. So you make your changes there. And let's say I want to do Calibri, but I don't want this blue. So I'm going to keep it black. And I want to make sure that there's some space, but not so much space before this. Maybe I want to put it at 8. And I just want to keep my line space in single. So I click on OK, and I select whether I want to keep it in this document or forever. And I click OK. So the next thing that's going to happen is anytime that I click on heading 1, I select my text and I click on heading 1, I will be able to apply that exact same style to whichever text I have selected. Now, notice that in setting up my style, I thought later, I should have done bold. So I don't have to go back to each and every instance of that heading. All I have to do is modify the style, click on bold, and then voila, all my headings are updated at the same time. So this is awesome for saving you time and also for making sure that you're consistent throughout your paper. And that was one of the important design things for digital documents, consistency in the appearance of documents. So you can continue to do that and define however many headings you need for a particular document. So maybe you're going to need 3 levels of headings, maybe you're going to need 4, whatever. Modify the style first to fit your preferences, then apply the style to whichever text should be tagged with that heading level. And if you have to make changes, just go back and modify, and you'll see how this is changed in every instance of that particular style. Now, what happens with this? Benefit number one for you, you don't have to be setting up formatting options for each heading and remember which formatting options you set for each level of heading. Benefit number two, now when you go and activate the navigation panel in Word, you can actually quickly navigate to the different areas of the document without having to scroll, because Word automatically compiles your headings on the headings area of the navigation pane, and it makes it easier for you to navigate. In order to activate this pane in Word 2010 and also 2013, you go to the View tab and then Navigation pane. In different programs, you're going to have to do some research to find how to activate this feature if it's available. The only place where it will not work out as nicely for the navigation is with your APA styles 3, 4, and 5, because those styles you have to apply the heading, but then on the same line you have to start the text. So those kinds of headings, even though you can set them up in Word, they will actually not show by default on the navigation pane. Benefit number 3, you can quickly insert a table of contents. So if you go to References, click on Table of Contents, you can either choose one of the defaults that are here, or you can actually make some modifications depending on the style you want to show in your table of contents. But basically this is automatically generated. If you want to create a table of contents manually, your contents switch from page to page, you don't have to worry about that. The next thing is, if you decide, well, I am not creating a storyboard, so I'm just going to leave the word wireframe. You go back all the way to the end, and you can quickly, with a right click, update your entire table, and your table of contents is automatically updated. Last but not least, your document is going to be accessible to users, especially those who are using screen readers, for example, to access your electronic documents. So with this, you're actually going to be complying with a lot of regulations online about making documents accessible. And so with this, I hope that you'll find this tip useful for this, but also for your future papers in this program.